Hello again, Pete Mac here with another video about guitars and stuff. Today thought we'd have a look at two guitars some of you may have seen before. This is a Gibson J-45, but a rosewood one. Rosewood back and sides, not the usual mahogany. And the other guitar I've got for you is a mahogany guitar, a D18 with a different look to it, because that one's, as some of you know, is the one that Martin released with a 1953 Kurtz 1953 D18, and they managed to put a replica of the top on that. Otherwise they're both in pristine condition, these guitars. This one's virtually brand new, and this one's now is a couple of years old now, this one, but hasn't had a huge amount of use. I thought we'd have a look at quality controls and the difference maybe between Gibson and Martin in general. What is the main differences to two beautiful guitars like this, apart from the obvious tone woods? They're different. Well, the first thing is they're both immaculately turned out. I know some people have had problems with new guitars, fairly high-end guitars. I say fairly because these are, standard guitars from their ranges, probably the bottom of their standard ranges, if you like, or bottom of their high-end maybe. Guitars are so expensive these days, it's difficult to put a name even on, what they are. But right from the start, the quality on this one has been very high. Tuners have been, and I've had this one now for 18 months, 1.5 years. The tuners have been great. The neck has been great. It still looks beautiful, and the good news is it's broken, out a little bit. It really has. It's been made it's probably 2 years now out of the factory, and it so a good sounding guitar still. Quality, well, look, the top, I keep it in the case most of the time, in fact all the time unless I'm playing it. The top is a really nice top. Haven't had any trouble, haven't had any glue problems, haven't had any problems really with any part of it, other than I would have said initially when I bought the guitar, there are some barely visible tooling marks, if that's what you'd call them. I'm not sure. Yeah, I probably would call them tooling marks. Just a couple of tooling marks. Frets are great, as you'd expect them to be at this price point. This was quite an expensive guitar in the 2K region. Just a little bit, as I said, of to marking. But fretboard, got a rosewood fretboard. We got the Sitka spruce rather top, and we got the exquisite. I'm always going on about this, and I don't know whether you can see it. The actual rosewood back on this is beautiful. But yeah, it's sounds pretty good. To my ear, anyway. Still ringing, yeah. As I said, it's broken out a bit, and it's got that lovely Gibson tone. Really nice Gibson tone. Yeah, I don't think this will be leaving me for a while, because the big benefit I found of this guitar is, being an old man, I get problems with shoulders and elbows and hands, and if you're an old man like myself, you'll know exactly what I mean. General aches and pains playing the guitar. But this has got a shorter depth. It's got a kind of triple O depth, not the usual big jumbo depth that you see perhaps on the Martin. So this was a great buy for somebody who does get a few injury problems, and you don't have to make that huge jump over the top at all. Anyway, let's have a look. Excuse me a sec. Let's have a look. I'll have to cut that out. Let's have a look at this Martin. Now, again, what are we talking about? Quality control. Look at the state in it. Quality control, really? But it's an absolute cannon. Sorry, apologies for that one, you're not allowed to play that, are you? Well, you can hear it, it's loud, it's a cannon. Quality control, what was it like? Well, obviously, you can't complain about the top, because they put this Kurt Cobain 53 top in it. It's not printed, it's sprayed on. I don't know how they've done that technology. But here you got different to the Gibson, you've got the ebony bridge and the ebony fretboard, and although they look marked, you know, this is a new guitar. It's beautiful. The ebony is terrific. They faded the board there, and obviously this is this. I'm rubbing my hands for it because I keep thinking it's going to flake off, but it's not. It is actually brand new. The big difference with this one as well, ornamentally, is this hasn't got the full gloss. It looks quite glossy there, doesn't it? but it isn't the full gloss top at all. Different nitro top, different system of sealing the guitars, but again, even with this finish, mahogany neck, interesting pewter kind of tutors, faded tuners. They've kind of given that 53 look to the tuners. I don't know what brand they are. There's not Martin on them, and there's not the usual Grover signs. They look like Grovers to me, but they could be anything, I don't know. Yeah, absolutely faultless when I got it. I haven't put the end pin in yet. Even, can you see where the end pin goes in there? Because there's no pickup in this. There is a pickup, and a good one, the LR bags. That's another reason I want to let that go, because I've tried that one out, performing on stage, and it's terrific. So a big plus with that one for having an LR bags in it. But this, I mean, it's such a cannon, it's so loud. It's the loudest acoustic guitar I've ever owned at any time, right from playing guitars in the 70s and having a Martin in the 70s. It could be because of the satin finish, lets it breathe, lets it blast out louder, I don't know. But the satin finish has got that kindly, slightly different sound, obviously slightly different sound to the rosewood Gibson, but a slightly different sound to a full gloss D18 as well. I really like satin. I don't know whether you can see it. It really does let the wood come out. Did I have any complaints? No. Am I being sponsored? Is somebody holding a gun to my head for this? Or, do I get anything from saying both these guitars were in great nick? No, I don't. I'm just trying to tell you as it is. I've had guitars, and some of them from the biggest dealers in the UK, and some of them are badly flawed. Okay, not costing this much. This one, in fact, very strange for me to buy a fairly expensive guitar from these dealers, but this is from the famous Andertons, where those crazy boys make videos. So I wasn't sure what to expect coming from them, because I did get a telly once, an Indonesian telly, and there were little bits wrong with it, but I didn't send it back because I like to fix things myself. But this I was a bit concerned about, but I had a good price for it, and I thought I'll have it, and yeah, I can't fault it. There's not a mark on it. Oh, the one thing I'm glad I need to talk about is the action. The one thing is, if you're buying a new Martin, you get a high end, you spend £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 on a Martin guitar. Don't expect it to be, slinky, easy action. They're not. Most of these guitars sort of come out of the factory as kind of bluegrass guitars, where you're. They come with high actions. Virtually everyone I've had a lot of them, and in some cases the Gibson. These days, if you buy from a good shop, they'll get the action down for you themselves. But with this one, such a lovely guitar and such a beautiful sound. There's quite a high action on it. But I've got it in, both guitars are in D tuning, not open D, standard D. And then when I put the cap on the second fret, I've got it in tuned to pitched. And it plays like a dream then, the action is perfect for me. Really easy action then. Same with the Gibson. Over the years I've always taken a bit off, you know, the bone saddles to get the action down. I've left them. I much prefer to leave them because I've noticed that if I leave them and just use the capo or capo, they still retain that phenomenal sound. Well, I think it is anyway. Yeah, so is there any, you know, some people say, oh, the Gibsons are terrible quality controls, or some say, oh, the Martins are terrible quality controls. I mean, you have to say what you see, and yes, there are examples of poor ones, but these two guitars, which probably, of all the guitars I've had a lot over the years, probably only 10% of the guitars I bought have been new, but these two guitars I bought new for various reasons. I sold a lot of old guitars and I bought these two new. And so for my two penneth, the quality control on them is great. Both guitars, you could nitpick tiny things, but they're not important. The sound of them is great, they're great instruments. They come in great cases as well, both of them. But beware if you're thinking of buying one, you know, and say, oh no, I'll take it in the box straight from the factory, because unless the shop you're buying it from are told that you want the actions lowered, you're going to have high actions on these. I think this one came in before I did a little tweaking here and there, but not Sabbath. You know, at about 8/16, that's high. The other one was the old age. The Gibson was high as well, not quite as high, perhaps 7/16. So there you go. Two lovely guitars for you to see today. I don't know what are your quality control issues been like. If you've had issues, let me know in the comments down below if you would, please. And you know, if you hit the sub button, that's great to help with this charity thing that I'm trying to get going. And thanks very much. And cheerio.